Hey guys, Badri here. I'm going to explain to you about conversion tracking campaigns. I think the first step in conversion campaign is setting up your pixels. Pixel, for those of you that are not familiar, is a simple way to think of as a tracking tool or a tracking device that allows visitors that are coming into your platform to be able to see who they are, what they do, what operations or what clicks or what buttons they were engaged with, and you can track them through the customer journey. And that's central for anybody that's running any kind of platform on e-commerce or anything that involves any engagement on your website. So here are the steps you would need to do. It's fairly simple with our tool. I'm going to walk you through systematically. The first step is if you've already created a brand, then you can just go into the brand. Most likely, when you come into the system, a brand is automatically assigned to you. In this case, I'm working with a brand called Kriglu Master. But those of you that don't have a brand, you just click the plus button to create a brand if you have not created a brand. Then the next step is in terms of how you configure the brand. There are three broad steps. The first step is connecting to your Google ad accounts. So in our case, I've got Google ad account connected, but if you are not connected, all you have to do is view connections and you just connect here. In my case, I've already connected. So it's showing up as disconnect, but in cases that you don't have an ad account connected, just do that first. That's the first step. Same thing with Facebook ad account. If you can set those up, mainly, and if you have Instagram, it automatically comes up. That's not an issue. For those of you that want to track LinkedIn, you can also connect to LinkedIn with our system here just for tracking. Then the next step is you can close out of this. Then the next step is frankly your website pixel. As I explained, website pixel is a way to track who is coming into your website, what kind of engagement they were doing on the platform, what they clicked, what hyperlinks they clicked, or what buttons they engaged with, etc. So I'm going to walk you through it fairly systematically. So in our case, what we are going to do in terms of tracking, we are going to create a new event. So event is anything that the customer has done on your website. So let's click on event. And the category comes in these standard buckets. So the top ones are standard. If you have let's say an e-commerce platform, chances are you got add to cart, all of these buttons, and they are fairly standard. But something custom, it's not listed here, then you have to do custom. Let's just do a standard one. I'm going to walk you through Kriglu as an example itself so you understand what we do. So let's go ahead and open up Kriglu here on the platform. I'm going to do let me go to pricing and click on free 30-day trial. I'm going to put in my credentials. I'm just going to say Badri Veera test.com. So I'm just going to say test 789. This is just a test email, but you guys should put the right email. Type of business, let's just say computer technology. I'm going to call kriglu.com. Monthly advertising, let's just say this. Now, if I want to track request free trial, because that's something important, and the same thing you can do for your business. Question is, what is going to come after this request free trial? So you go ahead and click this, and hopefully you'll get another page. There you go. So what we need to do is we need to track this page. So the registration is successful. So you copy this, go back to the tracking page and say, look, I want to track the registration page. So you put in the trigger value is what is going to come after it fires. So in this case, what we're going to do is it's a submit form. So you click submit form and you say request free trial. There you go. And I'm going to call it request free trial number 2 because we already have one. So if you go ahead and do this, in the case of revenue, what you do is like if it's a purchase, you know the revenue, but if it's a pre-purchase, if it's a lead, you give a proportion of the total revenue. So let's say I want to say it's worth, I don't know, $5. So you put in 5 here. Then you could say, how do you want to track this? Is it once per session? So each session would be tracked, or it's every session. So typically I would recommend once per session. And this is like, do you want to track in the daily digest on the goals that you're setting? Daily digest is something that everyone gets as a daily report. I'm going to go ahead and delete some of the ones that are there here. In terms of, one other thing I want to mention is that the trigger fires essentially means when the event is clicked, what do you want to really follow? In this case, it's a page view, because we want to see the thank you page, or in this case, it's the registration being successful. So you say page view contains. That's what you do. Once you do that, you're all set for tracking this particular thing. Then you just go ahead and save, and it'll save this in the system. Now, I'm going to go ahead and delete the old one that I had. I'm just going to delete it. And if you guys want, I can do one more just to show you how this is done. So let's say I want to track another hyperlink, or let's see. So somebody clicked, let's say, testimonials, start your free trial. So let's say somebody clicked on start your free trial. I want to follow them up. So what you do is the same process as I outlined. So you go ahead and add a new event. You can call it sign up, because this is a sign up, and you say start your free trial. Okay, and then the trigger fire would be anybody that clicked the text in this particular case. So you would just say, you would actually give the exact start your free trial. So you would have to type that in, start your free trial. And then you would say revenue is, say, $2 in this case, once per session. So I've created 2 of these. I'm going to go ahead and delete some of the older ones. So I've got 3 events. The first event is a custom one that I created for privacy policy. Whoever clicked the privacy policy, I should be able to see it. So it's the very same process. And then the second one was whoever clicked the request free trial. Then there was another button called start your free trial. So I had 3 of those. Just to recap, the key ones that I want you to take away from this is, the first one is clicking an element. You would have to go into the inspect element and look at what the ID of the element is. This is a little bit more involved. I would say most of you would be probably dealing with all element click text. That's the first thing I would suggest. Then the other one I would strongly urge you to look at is the page view contains. So I would say the click text and the page view contains would be the ones that I would really go. There is other elements, and if you get more familiar in this tutorial, I don't want to inundate you guys, but I would say those are the 2 ones that I highly recommend using. So one is a click text, and the other is page view URL contains. And the other ones require you to look at the HTML code and extract the element. That's a little bit more involved. Maybe in another video I can show that to you. So this would be the a good start. Let's go ahead and save this. It's already saved, so there's nothing more to save. Now let's go back to, so now just to recap, we have set up 3 events, and we should be able to now use those events to create a conversion campaign. Let's go ahead and start a conversion campaign. So you go ahead and click on create new. Um, and what you do is you hit on website conversion, click on the next button. We're going to run conversion campaign across, let's say, Google display ads, Google search, and Facebook, just as an example. And then the advanced option, now what you do here is to run your campaign, you have to kind of refresh this button here, refresh all 3 buttons, and you should be able to grab these custom events. So remember, I created 3 custom events. You should be able to grab them, like 1, and then 2, and then the final one is, okay, let's look at register as an example. Okay, so you can see these goals being set, and once you do that, you set up your budget of $100 a day, and then you can set your target CPA, let's say $2. So this $2 would be the target for achieving what's in the goals that are set earlier in the pixel tracking. So once you're set with this, then the same process that you've already done, like creating personas and putting the ads, now you're ready to lock and load. So just to recap, you set up the pixel first, using the procedure I laid out. Then once you have the pixel done, you come back to the campaign, and you can pick up the events that are listed, and then you're ready to run campaigns. That's all. It's a fairly simple procedure. Hope this is useful to you guys, and we'll talk soon. Thank you.